everybody's favorite and most prolific Kinect software making company, developer, Virtual Air Guitar is back with Virtual Air Guitar Warrior. So in this version of Air Guitar Warrior, this is the Kinect version, the original version of the game. Up until a certain point, it was the only version of this game that I knew about. So you will get a brief glimpse of what I look like playing a virtual air guitar. That would be me. And I'm standing on the back of some sort of Tyrannosaurus Rex-like creature, strumming back and forth, an imaginary guitar, shooting down any number of flaming skulls, which is pretty much an average day for anyone, particularly me. So tilting my hands aims the projectiles, and strumming, tilting my left hand and strumming my right hand is how you fire the projectiles. There's boss battles, so on and so forth. One thing about this game is the aiming can be a little tricky because you're using motion for everything, which is probably why Virtual Air Guitar went back and, for some reason, instead of just making maybe just adding an update to the original game, they decided to release a completely separate game called Air Guitar Warrior Gamepad Edition. So it's the same game, it just uses a controller instead of Kinect. You know, a controller, that thing that everybody has. Instead of strumming to a certain speed, you tap the A or X button at a certain speed, and that's how you get the 4 different projectiles. So strumming it really fast means the sort of the weak single but rapid fire bullets come out slightly slower, a little bit slower, and then so on and so forth for either one of those buttons. So you still pick your guitar. Instead of me, you have this white guy riding on a mechanized Tyrannosaurus Rex, which was in the other game as well. Don't get me wrong. I also could have written one. I just didn't show that in this video. That was a choice that I made. Don't judge me. The game is fairly, well, something self-explanatory isn't really the right word, but simple in concept. You use a controller, you strum, you shoot stuff out of the sky successfully, and then you float up above what you can see in the game. It tallies up how many enemies you killed, gives you a percentage, and if you do well enough, you move on. And you progress, and then you're able to ride on the back of flying sharks while shooting even larger inflamed skulls, which also shoot lasers at you. Yeah, the game is pretty wacky. It knows exactly what it's doing. But I will say that playing on a controller gave you much more granularity in terms of where you're aiming and where you are, because before, moving up meant you shifted the guitar up, the angle up to shoot enemies at the top of the screen, but also meant that you moved up as well. Whereas in this version, that isn't necessarily the case. You have much more, I'll use the word again, granularity in terms of where you want to move. So fighting some of these bosses becomes infinitely easier because you can control where you are. And when they're shooting off, half a screen of projectiles, that can mean the difference between life and death, but not really life and death. So this kind of game where I'm playing and I'm capturing, and like I said, it's fairly simple, but it is fun. Like, it's not doing anything necessarily all that inventive, but there is an appeal to it. And the selection of, I'm riding on a meteor going through space, and the selection of guitars makes a big difference. And also there's a little bit of strategy to it, because some of the enemies, like you see, have these overshields, and sometimes using the rapid fire is how you eliminate the shield, and then to destroy the enemy faster, you might want to use the slower strum. So you'll learn in time. Hey, there's me actually doing a local capture for a stream test, but yeah, riding on the back of a tiger. So there's a little bit of strategy to it, but not a whole lot. But the game is fun. You know already this is something you're interested in. There is really nothing else to say. I did enjoy it. It's not for everybody, but if you don't have a Kinect or don't want to use your Kinect, there is an option for you. Both games exist. Not ultimately sure as to why, but well, to give you choice. Anyway, I found it kind of fun. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. That's it.